Hey, dispatch worker. Why did you go home before me? You have no manners even though you're a dispatch worker? Just because it's your first day here doesn't mean you can be lax. Reply to my text, dispatch worker. Good evening, Mr. Cobb. My name isn't dispatch worker, it's Jack Morrow. Who cares about that? I'm asking why you went home earlier than me. Are you underestimating us or something? Do you even have a will to work? Listen up, if you're going to work under me, then I'm going to have to be strict on you. Even if you are just a lowly dispatch worker. I'm not going to let you not take your work seriously. If I may, I think it can't be helped if a dispatch worker goes home earlier than the full-time employees. What? Do you think this job is a game or something? I intend to do my work properly, and I think I worked hard enough today as well. Then why did you disobey me and go home early? I told you not to go home before your superiors, but you didn't follow my orders. Besides, who said a dispatch worker like you could even have an opinion? It's not my opinion. I'm just talking about my terms of employment. Huh? Your terms of employment? There needs to be a regular employee with me while I'm doing work. Making part-time workers or dispatch workers do stuff on their own is banned. The only people who can lock the doors of the factories and the offices in this branch office are the full-time employees who have keys. The only 3 people left were me, you, and the part-time worker Miss Knox, so if you were to go home, then me and Miss Knox would have to go home as well, right? But if you do that, then there's going to be unfinished work. But isn't it going to be a problem if you just leave me in the office? Not only that, I'd like to correct you on a fundamental error in your logic. What is it? In the first place, I wasn't assigned to work in the factory. I was assigned to work in the office. What? Really? Yes. I was temporarily dispatched since the office was suddenly extremely low on staff because of people suddenly going on parental leave or having to be hospitalized. It was decided from the start that I would only be working here for 3 months until the employees return. Seriously? By the way, the only reason I did a bit of work in the factory today was because our managers thought that it would help with my work if I got to know how things were in the factories. I'm going to be doing desk work at the office from tomorrow, so you're not the one who's going to give me orders. The supervisor in the office is. Oh, is that so? Are we all right now? Oh, yeah, you can go now. Well then, goodbye. So you weren't one of my subordinates. I'm misleading. Hey, dispatch worker. My name is Jack, Mr. Cobb. It seems your dispatch period ends today, huh? Yes, thank you for having me. I mean, I guess it's only obvious for an impolite person who doesn't listen to what others say like you to be fired. What is it? There's no use trying to flatter me now, it's too late. I told you on my first day of work, right? It was decided that my dispatch period would be for 3 months from the start. There was no plan of extending the period either, so it's not that I'm being fired. Oh, is that so? Again, thank you for having me. Goodbye. Wait, I thought that I had seen you somewhere before, but to think, you're Jack, right? The dispatch worker who was fired after 3 months 5 years ago? That reminds me. They were saying that several dispatch workers will be joining the factory workforce today. I see. This means that this time for sure you've been dispatched as one of my subordinates. Hold on, you're still living on that low salary of a dispatch worker after even 5 years? It seemed that you were quite the useless worker. It looks like it's almost time for the morning assembly. I heard that some high-ranking person from a new department at the company headquarters is going to be visiting today. I'm going to show the people in the main company how competent I am. and at the same time show you how things are going to be around here as your boss. Why did you punch me as soon as the morning assembly started? It's only natural that useless low-ranking employees like you get punched. Work your ass off today as well. It seems you still don't understand the position you're in. Huh? Why don't you think about this carefully? No matter what the reason is, punching someone will cause a huge commotion. Don't you think that under regular circumstances you would have been subdued on the spot? No one stopped me because everyone knows that my style of education is flawless and correct. No, the reason no one stopped you even though you punched me is because I had told everyone prior not to lay their hands on you until I say so. What? Now, I saw the text you sent me before this morning assembly. That's when I remembered that there were rumors about you going about in the company headquarters, but how you weren't doing well with your employees' relationships. And so I decided to not say anything and see how you would behave. I'm going to send this conversation to HQ. I kindly ask for your cooperation. Huh? Why are you talking as if you're the one heading the morning assembly? You're just a dispatch worker. I see. So you really haven't noticed yet. What is it? I came from the company headquarters. You came from HQ? Yes, I am now a full-time employee who works at HQ. By the way, I'm also the head of compliance starting from this year. What? I'll answer your questions in detail later. It looks like the swelling on my cheek is quite serious, so I'm going to go to the clinic. Hey, hold on! Since when were you a full-time employee who worked at HQ? Hey, you should be home by now, right? What's the meaning of this? Explain it to me right now. It means that you're banned from coming to work. Yes, it was really tough for me after that, you know. Immediately after I finished texting you, I was called by the head of this branch office and told not to come to work anymore. All I did was try to teach you your place as a lowly, useless dispatch worker. Why are you now the head of a new department at HQ? It's only been 5 years. When did all this happen? Well, it happened 5 years ago. While I was working here as a dispatch worker for 3 months, I noticed that the work done on computers in this branch office is quite inefficient. So I did as much as I could as a dispatch worker to optimize the speed of work. The head of this branch office and even people from HQ noticed what I had done, and they were kind enough to give me a job at HQ as a full-time employee. But even still, how were you able to become a department head in only 5 years? As regards to that, I'm not the only one. 2 years ago, I was invited to be one of the founding members of the new department, and the head of this new department was an employee aged 34. Huh? The head was the same age as me? It might look like he was promoted to a high position at an extremely young age when you compare it to the rest of the company. But the average age of this new department was 28. Considering this, I think you'll find it more believable that I was eventually chosen to become the head at the age of 30. Seriously? Well, there's really no point in me talking about my job, so I'll stop talking about this topic. What I wanted to talk about is how you suddenly punched me, who came from HQ to see how things were going here during today's morning assembly. I didn't know. I heard that new dispatch workers will be joining the factory workforce today, and that's when I saw you, so I assumed that you were here as a dispatch worker again. But I heard that the new dispatch workers would be coming tomorrow. What? It seems you didn't know the company's schedule, but that's not the point. No matter who the other person is, and no matter what your positions are, punching someone in the face is most of the time frowned upon. I just had a little misunderstanding. Don't you think we need to take that into consideration? Even if I were a dispatch worker, punching me in the face would have been a serious offense. It's not as if you were protecting yourself as well. You obviously just suddenly punched me. That's the reason you're being punished. Come on, I'm begging you. I'm about to get married. You're getting married? I plan on proposing to her soon. And my girlfriend is waiting for me to propose to her as well. You got a girlfriend? You know her as well, right? It's Miss Knox, the part-time worker from the office. What? Ms. Knox? But I was suddenly told not to come to work, so... if I may. I want to find happiness with her. But Ms. Knox is the wife of the factory head's son, didn't you know? What? It seems that she goes by her maiden name, Knox, while at the company. You're lying. Her husband is an employee at HQ, so I know him. They have a child who's turning 10 this year, if I remember correctly. No way, that's impossible. But Miss Knox comes to meet me every morning. Ms. Knox is in charge of handing out the things that came with delivery to each department, right? Of course she comes to the factory every day. During lunch break too, she brings me lunch boxes to make herself look good as a wife. But I heard that her husband was in charge of making their lunch boxes. It seems that there's one more thing that we need to investigate. Hold on. I'm going to report this to HQ. Don't do this, please. Sorry, but the cheek which you punched still stings, so... I have bigger problems. Goodbye. I'm impressed someone like him was able to become the manager. But it seems like he was fairly competent at his actual work, which is why he was promoted in the first place. That being said, though, luckily I wasn't seriously injured when Mr. Cobb punched me in the face. But obviously I couldn't just let it go, so I filed a report on him. Ms. Knox, who he had apparently been stalking, filed a report on him as well. We have no intention of settling this outside of court with him. After the whole debacle, Mr. Cobb was now in possession of a criminal record and was fired from the company. He used all the money he had saved up to pay for the alimonies, which were massive. Me and Ms. Knox had asked from him, and he was forced to start over from scratch. No, it was even worse than starting over from scratch for him, as he was now in the possession of a criminal record. Unless he does something about how he treats other people, I doubt he'll be able to live a happy life in the future.
Are you still at work, Luther? I'll just text you what I need to tell you. It's about my business trip to Okinawa that I was supposed to come home from today. My flight was delayed because of the typhoon, so I'm going to be staying here for 1 more month. Also, Ellen's going to be coming home from school early because of the typhoon. She's going to be home earlier than usual, so take care of her, okay? Can you talk right now, Mrs. Banks? Oh, hi, Alexa. Did the typhoon hit there as well? Yup. It looks like the real storm is yet to begin. But already the weather is getting rough. That reminds me. You were supposed to come home from your business trip to Okinawa today, right? How is it over there? Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I can't come home today since my flight's been delayed because of the typhoon. Oh, the weather's still bad over there? The typhoon's already passed, but the flight I was supposed to be on was delayed. I probably won't be able to get home by tonight, so I'm going to stay here for 1 more day. I see. Take care then. There's one more thing I want to talk to you about. You can see our house from the apartment you live in, right? What? Well, yes, I can. Can you see if the light in our house is on or not? Sure thing, I guess. Your house is right across the street and I can see it from my veranda. To tell you the truth, I can't contact my husband, even though he's supposed to be working remotely today. Considering the weather today, he's probably at home if he's a remote worker, right? It's fine if that's the case, but Ellen's elementary school is making the kids go home early today because of the typhoon. I told him about this, but he wouldn't reply. I'm worried about Ellen, so I would appreciate it if you could check in on her as well. So I should just check in on the house, right? Yep, thanks. Mrs. Banks? How is the house? Alexa, it's terrible! I found Ellen outside on her own in the middle of the typhoon. What? I take a look at your house from my veranda just like you told me to, which is when I saw Ellen curled up in front of your front door. I rushed and brought her into my house and made her take a bath. Luckily, she had no injuries, but she's just a 9-year-old girl. This is terrible. Why was she there? Was my husband Luther not inside the house? He probably wasn't. When I saw Ellen, my first thought was to bring her into your house and give her a bath. But when I tried to open the front door, it wouldn't open. I asked Ellen about it, and she said she forgot her keys in the house that morning. So I then brought her into my house. I gave her some hot milk when she got out of the bath, and she was probably so relieved that she's now sound asleep. So that's what happened. I was thinking about asking Ellen what exactly happened, but I thought that she needs to rest first, so she hasn't told me anything yet. Not knowing what happened makes me really anxious, but thanks for saving Ellen. If you don't mind, could you take care of Ellen until I get home? Of course. The rain is just getting stronger and stronger, so there's no way we can leave the house right now. Thanks, I'm counting on you. Still, though, I wonder where Luther went off to. Me and my husband tried contacting him from both our smartphones, but he wouldn't reply. I gave him a brief explanation of what happened and told him that Ellen was safe with me, but my texts remain unread. But his car was gone, so it's likely that he went off somewhere. Understood. Thanks for the information. Can you tell me if you find out anything important? I know you have Ellen to take care of as well, so you don't need to exert yourself too much. It's fine. Me and my husband will take turns looking after her. Sorry for everything. I wouldn't know what to do without you.
Oh, hi Alexa. You were texting me? I was so focused on my work, so I didn't notice until it was late at night now. Sorry, remote work is so scary because there's no one to tell you to take a break at times like this. I also had a text from your mom. Oh, I see, you couldn't come home because your flight was cancelled. Because of the typhoon, right? And Ellen is at your mother's apartment as well. Got it. Well then, I think I'll go to bed now. Good night.
Good morning, Mom. How are things over there? Alexa, I was just thinking about contacting you. I took a look at your house from my veranda, and I saw your husband coming home in his car. Did Luther have a sister or something? Nope, he only has one brother. Did something happen? You're probably going to be very surprised at this, but I'm sorry. I saw him going to your house with a young woman. Huh? Are you sure that's what you saw? Sorry. I know this is all so sudden. What? There's no reason for you to be sorry. You did nothing wrong, Mother. Anyways, I need to get home as soon as possible because I can't do anything from here. I'm about to board the airplane. I can come home as soon as I turn in some papers involving my business trip to my office. I'll go directly to your house. I'll probably be there a bit past noon. I understand. But still, I'm glad today was a day off. We're still taking care of Ellen, all right? Yep. Thanks. Luther, it looks like you were so focused on your work that you didn't notice my text until late at night yesterday. But didn't you notice that you had locked Ellen out?
What? Oh, yeah, sorry about that, Alexa. I'll express my sorry and gratitude to your mother later. Anyways, though, you're working now, right? You said you were gonna go to the office after your plane arrives, right? Must be tough having to work on a weekend.
Oh, I didn't say that I was going to work at the office.
What?
There are employees that go to work on weekends, but today's actually a day off for me, and I just had to go to the office to take care of something because my plane was delayed yesterday. I couldn't bring home important papers involving a business deal, you know? I just made a quick pit stop at the office to store the papers.
What? Does that mean that... Where are you right now, Alexa?
I don't know. Where do you think I am?
I have no idea. Why didn't you tell me?
Well, I guess there's no use hiding anything from you now that I'm already here.
What?
You're currently in her bedroom, right?
What?
Why don't you and the woman you're with come down to the living room?
What?
Of course, I'd appreciate it if you two put your clothes on.
Hey, hold on. Alexa? What do you mean exactly by that?
Are you actually pretending you don't know what I'm talking about? I know all of it now, you asshole.
Damn it. Shit! All of you just had to come. You didn't have to kick me out like that, you know?
I don't think that's what an asshole says after doing an asshole thing in a house that I own.
Why'd you have to call my mother as well, though? I was told not to come home to my parents' house because of that.
It's probably because your mother loves her only grandchild, Ellen, so much. And it's only been a few years since she divorced your father for cheating, right? To think that her own son would do the same thing. What you did was probably like rubbing salt on a wound that was yet to fully heal. No wonder she was furious with you.
Damn it.
Oh, that reminds me. I also told the husband of the woman you were with about the relationship you two were having.
You what?
They're also talking about divorce.
Hold on a minute. You knew who my girlfriend was, but you still...
Of course I did. You would think that it's obvious that getting caught with the wife of the CEO of the company you work at is a serious deal, but you still did it, it seems.
Shit.
You're probably going to go through a lot starting now, right?
Nah, don't do it.
I wonder if they'll even let you stay in the company. You thought that no one would find out you were skipping work and making out with your girlfriend instead, since you work remotely, right? It seems that you two went to a love hotel in the middle of a working day even.
How should I have guessed that I might have been caught even when I work remotely?
Apparently, it's not that hard to check if you're actually doing work, or not by looking at computer logs and at when you logged in and logged off. It's amazing how much technology has advanced, don't you think?
Who cares about how much technology has advanced?
Well, we're done here, right?
What?
I booked an appointment at a lawyer's office tomorrow. I need to prepare for it.
A lawyer?
What are you surprised at? I told you about it the day I got proof that you were cheating on me, right? That I would hire a lawyer to make you pay an alimony, and also pay for Ellen's child support.
I don't have that much money. I'm even about to be fired from my job. Why are you getting so mad even? It's just one time I cheated on you. All you have to do is be a bit patient so we can work things out without having to divorce. I'm not paying you a cent. How'd you find out? I thought that no one would find me here.
Oh, you received the content certified letter, did you? I've already gotten hands-on information saying that you ran to your father's house.
What?
You see, your father deeply regrets that he cheated on your mother.
Huh?
You were wrong if you thought that your father, who had done the same thing as you in the past, would side with you.
What?
Basically means that your father is on my side.
Huh? What did you say?
Anyways, apparently you turned in your letter of resignation to your company.
So what if I did?
If that's the case, it seems your father's going to make you work at the construction company he's been working for ever since he and your mother got divorced.
Huh?
I only heard about it after your mother told me, but it was called the Iwanami Group, right?
The Iwanami Group?
Apparently they're famous for reforming social degenerates like you.
Any social degenerate can become an upstanding human.
Oh, so you knew their model.
So it wasn't just me imagining things when I thought that my father seemed different to who he was a few years ago?
Well then, good luck becoming an upstanding human.
Wait,
I won't wait.
I don't wanna!
Goodbye.
No!
Luther's father pretended to sympathize with Luther when he fled to him, but he actually told me about it immediately. Thanks to the work of my father-in-law, who is nothing like he was a few years ago and is now basically a saint, the Iwanami group arrived 1 hour after me and Luther's final conversation. Luther was taken away in a black van screaming, "You lied to me!" It seemed that the CEO's wife was also sent to the Iwanami group through a different acquaintance of hers. Thanks to them, I received the alimony asked for from both Luther and the CEO's wife. And I also received child support for Ellen every month. After the divorce, it was decided that I would live with my parents. Ellen, who loves her grandparents, was overjoyed when I told her about it. I plan on overlooking the growth of this beautiful child as her role model, and live from now on as an upstanding human being.